I'm Tom Bland, and my medium is metal. I'm going to show you some different pieces of equipment and some different technique things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out the stock that we're going to make this out of, and it's going to be it's all starting off as flat stock, and we're going to measure out all our pieces, cut it all at once, and then we'll start to bend everything. All right, we're going to cut this piece. Let's do 4 pieces of this at like 30 inches each. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece of metal now, and then we'll get something made here. It's easy. I mean, this is just almost effortless. And it's, like I said, 120 years old. I kind of think that's sort of cool in a way. You know, automation speed stuff, that's great if you're going to do a production kind of thing, but you know, I'm not ever in a hurry. There's maybe 3 or 4 different types of benders, but I like this one the best. This is called a Acro Rod Bender, and you can get them you know, with a hydraulic unit on them if you want, and all that. You know, they make a little one too for doing real little work. This will bend up to like maybe 3/4 inch solid square steel on a rather gradual radius, but it'll bend 1/4 inch thick material on a really pretty sharp radius. What I want to do is I'm going to bend this into a loop, and we want the ends to come out even. They're not going to the first time I come around, and then you'll see I'm going to you know, rebend them back and forth a few times, and they'll come out even on the end. Okay, now we're going to want them to touch. So in order to get that, I could keep trying to bend it like I was, and they still won't touch. So I'm going to come over the other side of that big pin that I was bending around. I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to bump this a couple times, and it'll bring that right down to where it's touching. So do that with this other piece. And if we had one end a little bit longer, that's the side we would want to bend, because we want to take the stock out of the long end to make the ends meet. Now these two pieces are not the same length, but when we're done, it won't matter because the ends will line up. So I'm gonna split this difference right here, even though it's only about 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna split it down so that when we go around here, it'll all come out the same. I start off just trying to eyeball it here, you know, close as I can to center. Come around. And as I'm watching, see, I'm seeing it come around here. Okay, now this is going to be a good one to show you so we can show how to make 2 uneven ends come up. Okay. Now, you see how that is, one end is longer than the other? Well, but we have a gap. So we're going to close that gap up. But we're going to take the steel out of this straight and add it into the bend, and when we do that, when we take it out of there, it's going to shorten that up and make it the length of this. See? Simple. Okay. Okay, last one of those. And as I'm going along here, you know, if if you can identify anything that I'm doing, you might want to try that. See what's what here with it. Okay, now we're going to do another little piece here, and this is kind of let's see here. We'll come in one more hole. There's no rhyme or reason to anything with this either. This is just, you know, doing whatever feel like here. Just looks like a kind of a goofy piece of twisted steel right now. That's really what it is. Okay. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. I'm going to slide this back because I want to push this into that small pin, but there's not enough clearance right now to get past it. Okay, there we have enough. This is the handiest little tool. You can do so much with it. Okay. Okay, how's that? All right, now we're going to do a fly body, and I'm going to change this stuff. I make all this stuff because, you know, it's like they've never set an apartment at Walmart for it, so I just make it. You know, you can make whatever you need for a specific, you know, task, or you know, you can make something that's gonna work every time. This standard pin, these two pins, come with the unit. Okay, let's see here. All right, this will be good. We'll do one of these. Now, as I'm bending here, you can see that small pin flexing. Okay, and what's happening because of that, you can see the material coming up here in the air like that, and that's because this pin is flexing, you know, and so it's bending more on one side than the other, which is causing it to rise up. That's no big deal. We can fix that, straighten that out with. We'll give it a little bit right now. See, all I have to do is just grab that, pull it up, and now we're back in the game. Okay. Now I'm going to go. Now I'm going to take it down a little bit. I'm going to send this down to a little tighter radius down here. One thing I like about metal and steel is that it seems so immobile when you just look at it. And as you can see, you know, if you have the right equipment or heat, it's really easy to move. And it's forgiving too, because if you mess up, you can just straighten it out and start over. Like, say, wood, if you mess up, you know, you got to go to the lumber yard. And you know, you can't really just, you know, uncut a piece of wood. With this, you can if you cut it too short, you can just weld more onto it or whatever you want. So it's real forgiving, which is good for me, because I kind of learned by making mistakes. I'm just doing a basic scroll here. Okay, pretty easy. Just bending her back and forth. I'm going to go over here to the vise and I'm just going to clamp this and pull this over so that we get that straight and lined up. Okay, this is a no biggie. Pull it over there. I have a little gap there. We can fix that real quick on the bender. Okay, see, got that little gap right there? It's the same thing with that other piece we did earlier. I'm going to fill up that little gap a little bit. Just bump her down some and we're good. Okay. All right, we need one more piece here. Let's see what I can find. Let's cut one of these. Okay, we're going to run over here and cut this piece 1 foot long. And that takes care of that. Okay, now we're going to do this last thing here. And you know, the thing that's great is that you can do this and you know, they're never going to be the same. That's what, and that I like. I don't have the mentality to do the same thing over and over again. It's going to be a little bit oval. And it's just because you bend it where you want to bend it. And you can make it as, when you get to where you're, have a little bit of time on this thing, you can see I'm just kind of going like this, moving this thing back and forth, and as I'm doing it, I'm using this hand to put that metal right in there where I want it to bend, and you can get it to just be exactly the way you want it just by doing that. You see I move it back and forth here with this hand. Okay, voila. All right, I'm going to straighten that one out in the vise, and we'll be ready to put this guy together.